And today we are going to talk about the smallest unit of life. The smallest unit of life, which is called a cell. Everything is made of cells. My body, plants, a dog, a cat, every living being is made of cells. So today we will try to cover these topics. What is a cell? How can we understand that, and how can we describe a cell? Also different types of cells. And if we have time, we can get deeper and talk about what kind of things we can find inside of the cell. Okay, the next slide. My question is chicken egg a cell? Anybody? What do you think? The last century scientists were debating which cell is the largest cell in the world. They thought, maybe an egg is like the beginning of the life. Like the beginning of the life, before the chicken there was an egg, maybe before an egg there was another chicken, but it's another topic. Next slide. So here we have an egg and a cell. You can distinguish the structures inside the cell. Even with the naked eye, they look kind of similar to the blood cells, the red blood cells in our blood. And here we have different names for the things inside the cell, and very similar things, very similar structures we can find inside of the cell. I mean the human cell. So the answer is that before we fertilize the egg, an egg is one single cell. And then we have a question. That is very interesting. Let's stop for a moment. Then I ask the question, what is the largest cell in the world? What is the largest cell in the world? You can think for a minute and let's give an answer. Anyone knows what is in this picture? What is in this picture? Size like this. Pretty big one. You? Maybe you? Yes, I can hear someone is saying it's a bird, right? Yes, birds lays egg. Yes, dinosaurs, they were laying eggs too. Yes, you're right. Let's move on. Anyone knows this bird? Anyone? Maybe someone has tasted this egg. Yes, it's an ostrich egg. An ostrich egg is the largest, yes, egg in the world and the cell in the world. It weighs 1.5 kilogram and it is nominated as the largest cell in our planet. I mean, currently. Dinosaurs were laying eggs too. So the dinosaur egg was definitely larger than ostrich egg, but now ostrich egg has the title of the largest egg at this moment on our planet. Okay, and we can move on to another field. We see a man, this is my photo, and we see a cat, and we see Rose. All of them are made of cells, right? All of them are made of cells. This is a definition. Can you please read it? Yes? Yes, that's right. A cell is the smallest unit that is capable of performing life functions. Life functions. There are two main life functions. Everyone is breathing. Someone who is alive and has to breathe, to use oxygen or to use carbon dioxide, and it has to reproduce. Reproduce, in other words, it means make making babies and leaving something after we die. These are the examples of cells. We have so many different types of cells. Even between different animals, between different plants, between different organisms, but also inside one single body, we have a lot of different types of cells. Like here we see the nerve cell, we see red blood cell, and we see some bacteria. Yes, bacteria, they're living all in our body, everywhere. So my question is, what is a cell? Somebody says C, somebody says A, B. The right answer is C, the smallest unit that is capable of performing life functions. And now we to a very important part about types of cells. There are two types of cells. Type number one is an animal cell. Type number two is a plant cell. And an animal cell and a plant cell, they're both different. So here we see an animal cell on the left and the plant cell on the right. And the sentence on the bottom says, certain organelles surrounded by membrane. The word membrane, yeah? So here we see names and short descriptions of things we can find inside the cell, as we call them organelles, right? Like a small tiny organs inside of the cell. Yeah, so this is an animal cell and this is a plant cell, and these are three differences. Number one is a cell wall. You see the strong structure around the cell which keeps the shape, which keeps the tree standing, which keeps the leaf in a form, specific form, and it's hard, you cannot break it easily. Like, it's strong and it keeps the shape of the plant. And then we have a vacuole, and the vacuole is something like a large bag full of water and nutrients inside of the plant cell. And also, the third one is a chloroplast. Chloroplast is something that makes food for itself and also gives a green color, also makes plant be able to survive. So here we have those three organelles. Cell wall, you remember? Yeah? Yes, chloroplast and a vacuole. That's right. So this is a comparison of those different organelles, different things inside of animal and plant cell. So the thing, a cell wall is just in a plant cell, and there is no cell wall in an animal cell. And because plant cell has a cell wall, it has a fixed shape, always same, it doesn't change. And an animal cell, it doesn't have any shape. You see, it's soft. You can squeeze it like this and nothing happens. If you take a plant leaf, a leaf of the plant, and you poke it, probably your finger will go through the leaf of the plant and you will break it. Okay, and then the vacuole is really large, and the plant cell is big. Like a watermelon, you know the watermelon? Watermelons has really, really huge vacuoles. And that's why they have so much water. Animal cells have vacuoles, but they're very, very little, very small. So it's kind of nothing special, you know, not a big one. And the chloroplast is just in a plant cell, and there is no chloroplast in an animal cell. Okay. So now you have to answer, is an animal cell different? No? No different. Okay, so the right answer is true. Yes, animal cell and plant cell, they are different. They are different. Now the question is, what is this around the cell? What is around the cell? Anyone knows? Cell wall. Yes, that's right. Where we can find a cell wall? Yes, we can find a cell wall in a plant cell. No, we cannot find it in an animal cell. Yeah, we cannot find it in an animal cell. So cell membrane is a structure which is like a bag, like a border control, like something that is around the cell, like a bag, closed bag. Actually, it looks pretty complicated, but it's pretty interesting because it's like it has a lot of gates, a lot of tiny gates. This is the membrane. Membrane goes all around the cell. Membrane goes all around the cell, and this is how it looks if we zoom in. You see there are many gates, a lot of gates, different type of gates, which can let in and let out some chemicals, and that's the main function, is to protect and to control what is going in the cell, into the cell, and out of the cell. So it's like a city gate, like some wall around the city, like China wall. You can let someone in through the China wall, and you can let someone out. So it's the same function like a China wall, right? And then the cell wall, which we can find in a plant cell, right? Yes. Yes, we will talk next time about cell wall and cell membrane more. So you can keep your question for next time, okay? Thank you. The main thing that it has like some control post, like a toll, where they can let in someone, but if they don't need, they say no, you cannot get into the cell, or you cannot get out of the cell, you have to stay. Yeah, that's how it works. So what is the function of the cell membrane? The main function of the cell membrane is, yes, support, jump, okay, I hear you, jump, M, protect, sorry, well, but this main function is to support and to protect. Animal cells have a wall, yes or no? Of course. Yeah? Of course no. Of course no. Animal cells have no wall. Okay, and probably the last organelle we can mention in our demo class, because we are running out of time, right? A chloroplast, a special organelle which is found inside of plant cells. And just plant cells. Just plant cells. Animals, am I green? My body is green? No. My body is not green. So a plant cell has chloroplast, an animal cell have no chloroplast, right? No chloroplast. So the function is make photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a very complicated word. What is a photosynthesis? Anyone? Yes. Yeah. It takes the sunlight. Yeah. It makes what? Glucose. Oh, that's right. That's a very good answer. Yes, it makes glucose. Glucose is like a food for plant, and they can use it, reuse it for many purposes, right? So this is a description. What is a chloroplast? So basically, to remember for you, chloroplast is green. The chloroplast makes energy. Makes energy, taking energy from sun and making, who said glucose? Yeah, glucose. Chloroplast makes glucose. So it's like food for a cell. Food for a cell. Okay, and here we have to stop today. Thank you very much for listening. And usually, in the end of the class, I have a quiz. You have the quiz in your handouts too. So today we are going to match. We are going to match a cell, and let's pretend that we went through all of those organelles. We went through all of those organelles, and now we ask questions. Type of cell, type of organelle, and you have to tell me types, see, and then here are your answers, and also an organelle and its function. We have organelles on the right, right? No? Okay. So we have to choose which one is right, and here we have answers. So today we managed to work with. We didn't do anything here. Okay. So in the end of the class, I usually give a quiz, and after the quiz, I give a homework. So a homework for this class is to write an essay. How do you imagine? What is a cell? And how cell resembles a city? How things happening in the cell are similar to the things happening in the city? For example, a factory is producing energy, or some other factory is producing food. So you can relate it how those activities in the city are related to activities in the cell. I mean the functions of organelles and so on and so on. It's up to your imagination. So I can limit it up to 100 words. If you don't mind, I can increase it to 200 words, 500. Okay, I will leave 100 words. So that's it. Questions and answers. Okay. Yeah, we have no questions. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening. And see you guys next time.